Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden NFL 23 defensive plays video breakdown, I'm going to take a look at Nano Blitz A-gap pressure in under 2 seconds. And what this one's going to showcase here is how to get some pressure from the left outside linebacker who will shoot through the A-gap pretty darn quick. And for me, the team that I like to use, as you guys know, is I'm a Cowboy fan. So because I have an X factor on my team, in this case it's Micah Parsons, who happens to be one of the best defensive players in the game as far as getting pressure on the quarterback, I want to showcase him for this video breakdown as far as getting that pressure. Now, one other thing I want to point out, if you have not had a chance to check out the video where I talk about the 46 normal roster glitch, where you can't get Micah Parsons into the left outside linebacker position when you use the speed package, then you want to watch that video because I explain how I like to get him into that position. And basically what it ends up being is more or less a nickel, a normal type looking formation where we have, 4 defensive linemen, 5 defensive backs, and 2 linebackers. So make sure you guys watch that video if you haven't already. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. That way you guys can check it out if you haven't looked at it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the play again here. Again, it's going to be this defense right here, which is a defense that a lot of us run. It's from the 46 normal. And again, it's called the inside blitz. So I just want to point that out to you guys. And then as far as the playbooks are concerned, you'll find this particular play out of 3 playbooks. You don't find this formation as much as you used to, but you can find it in these 3 playbooks, which is the 46, the Bengals, and the Eagles. For this video breakdown, we'll go ahead and use the 46 playbook. Here's what the 46 normal inside blitz looks like without making any pre-snap adjustments. In most cases, the defender is going to bring the pressure is going to be this guy right here, which is the left outside linebacker. He'll end up shooting through this A-gap and applying the pressure. Now, on occasion, he may run into one of his own defensive linemen, or he may run into a, maybe the center or the right guard, and it slows his rush down on occasion. But for the most part, he should get in pretty quick. If you don't want to make any adjustments at all, this is a defense you can run that's going to do that for you. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at it, and I'll show you how I like to run this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call press coverage. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slant the defensive line out. So I'm going to slant the defensive line outside, and then I'm going to go ahead and spread the defensive line. The reason I like to do this is because it makes it a wider gap where that linebacker can shoot through, being the left outside linebacker. And then what I like to do is go ahead and bring him up to the line of scrimmage and then release him and then switch. Now, the reason I switch off on him is because the one thing that will do when you bring him up to the line of scrimmage and then you release him, he'll reset and he'll actually be about a yard closer to the line of scrimmage, allowing him to get an extra step to get to the quarterback a lot quicker. And again, as I pointed out already, the defender that we're going to have as far as bringing this pressure here is in fact going to be Parsons. So he's lined up right there, as you see on your screen. And the other thing I like to do is take control of the middle linebacker. In this case, it's 𝗍𝗲𝗄 right here. And I like to go ahead and bring him up near the line of scrimmage, even closer, and take control of him. Now, what I'm going to do when this ball is snapped, I'm going to make sure when I'm blitzing him, I want to make sure that the center engages me. So I need the center to go ahead and engage me. And then once he does this, then I'm going to drop 𝗍𝗲𝗄 back into coverage. And then I'm just going to go ahead and manually user him and take away anything over in this area here. Anything, maybe if they got some, maybe they got a crossing route or something, maybe this guy's coming underneath like this, then I'm going to try to take that away. So that's what I like to do with this particular defense. Now, the only other thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is to go ahead and go QB contain. Now, that's optional. You do not have to do that. For this video breakdown, I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and run this. And again, you guys will end up seeing as we run this that Parsons is going to shoot through this A-gap right here. As you look at your screen right here, he'll shoot through this A-gap and he will apply that pressure. And it's going to be under 2 seconds. Matter of fact, once we go in instant replay, I'll go ahead and bring the ticker in and we'll go ahead and take a look at it as far as how fast he really does get to the quarterback. So let's go ahead and run this and we'll see what happens with it. And right there, you can see that we get that pressure on the quarterback. Let's get ready to go in instant replay and I'll go ahead and show you guys how fast this really gets there. All right, we're in instant replay. I've got the ticker on. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how fast Micah Parsons actually gets to the quarterback with this setup I'm just showing. So let's go ahead and do it and see what he does here as far as getting to the pressure on the quarterback. So right there, you can see that he gets to about 1.87 seconds, which is pretty darn quick. That's under 2 seconds, which is what I wanted to show you guys. So this is definitely a defense that you can definitely run that's going to bring that pressure on the quarterback pretty darn quick as you look at it. So you can definitely get in there pretty darn quick as you look at it. Now, the other cool thing is we zoom out just a little bit, the coverages are pretty darn good as you look at it. Now, the one thing right there, they might have been able to throw the ball here. If I go ahead and zoom in here to this receiver right here, let's go ahead and zoom in. It's going to be this receiver here. And this guy, he might have been able to throw to, but as you watch, I want you guys to go ahead and concentrate on the linebacker that I'm in control of. I'm in control of 𝗍𝗲𝗄𝗧. Remember, I talked to you guys about dropping him back. See, I take that away myself by dropping him back. So that's what I'm looking for. Anything that comes over the middle of the field, then that's what I want to do as far as dropping him back. I want to take anything away to short to the middle of the field with that. And that's the reason I drop him back, to give myself an extra defender that I can use her with for anything underneath. And the other thing about this, the reason I like to put these guys in QB contain as far as these defensive ends is because if the quarterback were to roll out, let's just take a look at this. If the quarterback was to roll out, so here's this guy in QB contain right here. As you look at your screen here, he's in QB contain right there, that defensive end right there. And then we also got this guy in defensive end as far as in QB contain. So if the quarterback was to try to roll out as he drops out of here and tries to go out in these directions here, then I've got it where he won't be able to do that. So that's another reason I like to go ahead and put those guys in QB contain. So I would suggest when you're doing this 46 normal inside blitz setup, I would suggest going ahead and doing that. That way they can't drop that quarterback and try to roll out away from the blitz. And with Parsons, the nice thing about that is with that 91 plus speed that he has, he can get in pretty darn quick and get to the quarterback, such as you see on your screen. Now, one other thing I want to point out in here, in the 46 normal, when you're in the speed package, normally that would be a defensive back. Now, if you want to put a defensive back there, that's fine. But I prefer, if I have a fast linebacker, I prefer him to be there. And the reason for that is that the linebacker has a better chance of actually sacking the quarterback than the defensive back. A lot of times the defensive backs will just get shredded off and they won't make the sack. Yeah, they'll get to the quarterback, but they won't really actually sack them. So that's one of the reasons that I suggest you putting a linebacker there. As you can see on your screen here, I want to go back into this, just kind of look at this, just look at this real quick as far as what I've got set up here. And again, if you watch that video breakdown where I talk about the 46 normal roster glitch, as far as setting it up, you'll notice here what I've got set up here. I'm just going to kind of go through this real quick. I did this in the video breakdown, but you'll notice that we have 5 defensive backs. So we have a nickel look here with the 46 normal formation. So you have those 5 defensive backs, and then you have these 2 linebackers. So that's why I like this, because you're able to set it up that way. Now, if you want to go with the whole dime package and have 6 defensive backs in there, more power to you. I prefer to do it this way. So that's the one thing I want to show up. So I'm going to go back and run this one more time, just really quick. By the way, the offensive play that I ran was from the gun bunch offset. The name play is called 𝗍𝗍𝗆. Find this one out of the Eagles playbook. So as I mentioned, this playbook is pretty nice. It's 46 normal. I'm going to be showing some other blitzes from this. I got a couple other inside blitzes I want to show that are pretty nice as well. I'm not going to show them in this video breakdown. I'll show them here throughout the week. And then I've got a couple other defenses as far as blitz setups from the 46 normal that I like. So I'll get to those to you as well. So as far as the setup, again, there it looks like that. You just bring this guy over. Don't forget to move Parsons up. I prefer to move him up a little bit, and then just go ahead and bring this guy up here, 𝗍𝗲𝗄𝗧, or your middle linebacker, and just go ahead and let him blitz. Actually, I got picked up that time, but normally I don't. In that case, I actually got picked up. Let's go ahead and set it up just one more time here. So again, we'll go ahead and call press coverage, spread the defensive line out, slant the defensive line out, bring Parsons up. Let's go ahead and switch over to him, bring him up, and then we're going to go ahead and put 𝗍𝗲𝗄𝗧 right here. And then a lot of times when you do that, you should get this right there as you look at your screen. And so you got a nice defense. So guys, I hope this one will help you guys out as far as bringing some pressure from this particular defense out of the 46 normal inside blitz. It's not a elaborate setup. I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but I just wanted to showcase it, how you can get pressure in under 2 seconds, providing that you got the right defender lined up at the left outside linebacker position.